resident of Cedar Falls, but I have impacted land. Summit is in Wright County. My husband Paul is here with me today. And after 5 years of traveling to the Capitol, seeking property rights protection from Summit's private project, it looks like this year, once again, we are being thrown under the bus by Senate leadership. Every year this issue gets more attention and our lobbying group gets bigger. News outlets across Iowa list important bills that the legislature has left behind. And this year eminent domain is one of the big three, along with the budget and property taxes. But it looks now like Senate leadership is planning to just let our bill die without coming up for debate, and they would love nothing more than for us to just go away. We've been a thorn in their side. Last week, while a large group of us landowners were gathered outside the cafeteria, Senate President Amy Sinclair walked directly by all of us, headed straight to the table of Summit lobbyists, giving one of them a great big high five and yucking it up with them. Were they celebrating the killing of our bill? We don't know, because even though she holds the power to move important bills in the Senate, she will only meet with constituents living in her district or with paid lobbyists. Just one example of how money makes things happen in Des Moines, not so much people in red shirts fighting for their property rights. So I hate to break it to Senators Klimesh and Sinclair, but we are making eminent domain an election issue. And if you are on the wrong side, we will do everything in our power to remove you from office and to elect Congress members that have the best interests of the people in mind, not the lobbyists and the money behind them. We're not going anywhere. We have too much invested to give up. And there's too much at stake.
I'm Dennis King, farmer from Northwest Iowa. I'd like to talk to the Senate leadership today. Where are your priorities? You have spent time this year talking about a new state horse and window tinting for a car. Well, what about taking away the use of eminent domain for CO2 pipelines?
Yes.
80% of Iowans don't want eminent domain to be used. Give landowners the choice to decide what is best for our farms. Bring up Bill 2104 for a vote. What are you afraid of?
Yes. Woo!
Hi, I'm Janice Smuts from Hardin County, and my neighbors are Bruce Rostetter, Summit, and Senator Annette Sweeney, and they don't seem to realize that eminent domain is important for us. Last year they voted against me, and I'm waiting to see what happens this year. Now, we're watching all these school children walking by. Okay, do they learn about the Constitution? Do they learn about our presidents? Okay. Now, the Constitution says this is wrong. My great-grandparents came to the U.S. to get their own land, to farm their own land, and not let any dictators take it away. Now we have this happening. Senator Clemens, he came up with a bill that said, if possible, they're going to go around me with a pipeline. That's not true. He needs to start listening to us a little bit before he starts trying to tell the other senators what to do. Thank you.
I'm Darlene Partlow, Guthrie County, and we have been fighting this for 2 sessions. I'm a Phase 2 landowner as well as our son. And the ones behind me, most of them, have been fighting this for 5 years. That's a half a decade. At the beginning of this session, and actually in December, Senator Klimesh met with a TV interview and had that he would handle property rights and have it done and over with at the first session. That hasn't happened. The House did their job and got House File 2104 over to the Senate in record time. What we've been told, that's the fastest any bill has ever made it from the House to the Senate. So here we are. The bill is stalled. Same scenario as last year. and it's because of Senator Klemesh. He claims he has to have 26 Republicans to be able to bring it to the floor for debate. Why 26? He says it's tradition. Well, we've heard that tradition just started a year ago. Our allies in the Senate have provided an amendment. We call it the Alon's Amendment because his is the first name on as signed on. There are 10 other senators that are involved in this, and it's a compromise between our bill and parts of Senator Klemesh's bill that he tried to sabotage House File 2104 at the beginning of the session. But he won't bring this to in front of a caucus or to debate because, again, it has to have 26 Republicans. This isn't a Republican or a Democratic issue. It is a bipartisan issue. The House can be bipartisan. Why in the heck can't the Senate be? We have the votes. If it was just brought to the floor for debate, we have the votes.
That's right.
Say it. We have the vote.
We have the votes.
We have the votes.
And in our meeting with Senator Klemesh this morning, I brought up the fact that if something isn't done, if this isn't brought to the floor, we are taking this to the elections this fall. And anyone who's been against us, no matter which party it is, if they can't stand up for the Constitution and their own platforms, both Republican and Democrat, then it's time to vote them out of office.
Yes.
And this is our son, Keith.
I'm Keith Barlow.
Speak.
Keith Barlow from Guthrie County. I'm a fourth generation farmer on a lot of our ground. My grandpa bought ground all the way back in the late 40s, early 50s, and I would like to pass it on to my son and my nephew, which they'd be the fifth generation. Summit is forcing eminent domain on us if we don't go along with their plans. We need 2104 passed. We need protection for all the landowners in Iowa. It's not right what these companies are doing to us, and it's shameful what the Senate is doing to the American people of Iowa by not bringing this bill to a vote, by stalling. Senator Klemesh blatantly said this morning that he will not bring it up unless he has enough Republican support, which pretty much tells us that he's putting party above the people of Iowa. And sound like he had no intention of standing up or doing what's right for whatever reasons. It's a bipartisan issue. The votes are there to get it passed, but still nothing has been done. And we're tired of it. We want action.
Bring House File 2104
Woo!
to the floor for debate.
Yeah. Yes.
God bless the USA.
And remember your Constitution.
Sorry. We jumped.
We're all in this together. I'm Kathy Carter, Summit Targeted Landowner in Floyd County. For those of you old enough, none of you out there I know, but a lot of the legislators in that building, they should remember how we felt when we had the attacks on 9/11. It was a gut punch. I got another gut punch in 2021 when I got that letter from Summit Carbon saying they're going to put a pipeline across my property. My property. Summit's strategy was to hit us country folk hard and fast and get those easements signed before we wised up and learned the real truths about the project. It worked for a while and to a point. Ever since then, I've had that black cloud of eminent domain hanging over my head ever since for 5 years now. 5 years. I'm tired, I'm disgusted, and I'm furious. And these folks back here are being way too quiet because angry or mad doesn't cut it. We are furious. We're tired of this.
Yeah.
Yes. For 5 years, some of those legislators have acted like they're listening, like they care, like they're trying to help, but there's always a but. Enough. no more lip service. They're supposed to be protecting our constitutional rights. Remember that Iowa motto that includes our rights we will maintain? Remember? But they're not doing it. What happened to bipartisan representation? What happened to representing Iowa residents instead of deep-pocketed corporations with foreign investors? The time to act is now. They need to get their priorities straight and pass 2104. It's a priority. Has been for 5 years. Like has been said before, in December, Clemish clearly stated that as leader, he would bring the property rights issue up at the beginning of the session, which the House did, passed that requested clean bill quickly and sent it to the Senate. Clemish added an amendment that was clearly heavily influenced by Summit, and there it sits. And here we are with the session technically over. Clemish has said there needed to be loyalty to the caucus. What about loyalty to the people that voted all of them in? What about the fact, what about the fact that there is language against carbon pipelines and eminent domain in the platforms of both parties?
Yes.
Last year during debate on HF 639, Clemish railed about unintended consequences. But that's exactly what will happen if the Mineral Rights Force Pooling Bill 2490 passes. It's another example of our so-called representation ignoring us. Obviously, that's easy to do when your own district and your own constituents are not threatened with eminent domain. Some of them are up for re-election this year. Some of them will be campaigning next year. I will not name names. Oh wait, I will. Senator Clemish. He's one of them. Be assured, we landowners and our supporters will be doing everything in our power to change some of the faces in this building. We will do our utmost to make sure some of them never hold a state office again. And some of them, I'm sure when they hear this, they're going to smirk at that comment, but never underestimate the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
The Iowa Supreme Court just handed the little guy a victory over industrial wind. It's the little guy who voted out all 5 council members of the community after they approved a data center against overwhelming public outcry. It's the little guys who beat out 15 incumbent legislators in South Dakota because they failed their constituents and the people of the state. Our esteemed legislators have underestimated. Their turn is coming. Yep.
Woo-hoo!
2104.
2104. Bring it to the floor. 2104. Bring it to the floor.
Bring it to the floor.
Do you have any questions or anything?
do for anyone who's